Good morning, 4040 gang. I'm going to show you how I use some of these amazing tools. First of all, I like to start my morning with using a biofreeze, or this is salon pause, on my hips, my knees, behind my knee, down on my calf, areas that I tend to have a little bit of tightness, up on my shoulder, behind the back of my neck. I've become accustomed to using this on a regular basis. It really helps me to get through my workout. The next thing I like to do is use a foam roller. I bring the foam roller out, put it on the floor, and really roll out through my glutes and my hips, the areas that I'm really tight on. I like to take it down behind my knees, again, one of those areas where the connective tissues tend to get really tight. And then on my calves, because of my plantar fasciitis, I like to really make sure that I work through my calves to help protect my feet when I'm working out. I really think you should invest in a foam roller. Next, of course, I like to do some deeper stretches. This is a karate belt. I picked up a bunch of them from the Goodwill store. You could use a men's necktie or a stretchy band. I like to make sure to roll back slowly, one vertebrae at a time, so that my back is flat. Soften the knee, point and flex the foot. You want to activate the muscles through the calf, the ankles. Definitely soften the knee here as you pull back gently. Hip rotation is really important, lubricating those hip joints. As we get older, we get a lot stiffer in those areas, so I like to do big circular rotations. Bending and extending, making sure that my joints move freely with the muscle tissue and safely, of course. Deepen the stretch, breath with the stretch. And then I like to do a cross body stretch, soften the knee. You can pull gently with the band, deepen the stretch through the glute and lower back if that feels good for you. I'll make sure to do a cross and then open up here, again, pulling back gently, only if that feels safe for you. I like this stretch. It might be too intense for some, but I really enjoy doing this stretch and softening up that hamstring that really pulls on weak glutes and lower back. Bring the knee in for a hug. I like to repeat on both sides and then slowly roll up, not to get lightheaded. Do this before you work out. These items are sliders. You can pick them up at any department store. You could use paper plates or a towel, actually. Putting it beneath your heel helps to activate the hamstring even more. As I pull back, I'm pressing the heel into the slider. If I roll back, press my shoulders into the mat and pull back a little deeper. Whoops. All right, put your foot back on the plate. This happens, right? This happens. So again, activating the hamstring. And I like to do this again before I have a nice strong workout on my legs. Tennis balls are fabulous. I like to get into the area of the connective tissue, again, because of the hamstrings and weaker glutes. You really want to put pressure point into that area, and you'll see that it helps create blood flow to those areas that are weak. And so by doing this, I put a little pressure point and then a little bit of a rotation perhaps. And then, of course, when you move the ball out, you'll feel the blood flow go into the area. And of course, with proper nutrition, that means that proper blood flow goes into the area to heal those damaged areas in your body. Now, this particular exercise is so intense. I hate to love it, I guess you say. Taking the tennis ball, which has a little bit of flexibility because of the texture of the tennis ball, behind my scapula, which I've had a scapula injury for a long time. You can see I'm doing simple arm rotations. I assure you that this can be very challenging for you. Take your time. Breathe and breathe as you just go through simple movement of arm rotation, bringing it up and down, rotating around and over your head. So, of course, with plantar fasciitis, I have to pay extra attention to my feet. So you'll see here, I like to take the golf ball, which is a little smaller point of pressure, into my foot. The floor I'm using right now has a lot of uneven surface, but it's easier on a carpet. And then, of course, using the golf ball in my hands, again, a pressure point is great for all the tension. Our hands are so clenched throughout the day or using it on digital devices. even a little massage up your forearms is great for getting blood flow, which means healing flow to those areas. Taking the exercise band, you can see I tied it in a knot. My lower back and my glutes have been very weak, quite frankly. So this is an exercise I like to incorporate. Putting the band, creating some resistance, making sure my ankles, knees, and hips are in alignment, and then lifting the hips to the ceiling, squeezing the glute muscles, and stabilizing here and just breathing. You'll see how I drop there a little bit because of the weakness. Mind and the muscle, lift and hold. Be really mindful. Mind and body connection is so important, especially when you're trying to strengthen some of your weak areas. So holding this for a period of time and then slowly releasing one vertebrae at a time back to the floor, bringing the knees in for a gentle hug, a gentle rock, getting again blood flow into the area that needs all that nutrition. This exercise I take very serious because I'm really trying to strengthen my lower back and glutes. I hope you enjoyed these exercise tips and that you find yourself on the mat soon.